What's going on YouTube? This is SR Drone. I recently just finished my first long distance flight test with my DJI Mavic Pro. So let's take a look at the video and let's get right into it. So this stretch of the river has very little photographic scenery. There isn't a whole lot to really show when it comes to landscapes and various buildings and things on the shoreline. But there is very little interference from trees, buildings, and this location actually had a very clear line of sight. Now the video is a little out of focus for the first 1,500 feet or so. I forgot to hit the focus button, and I didn't notice it till a little into the video, but that will be resolved as the video goes on. So we'll be stopping shortly, and I believe, coming up about now, we'll see. So if you just give it a quick second, and I do end up focusing, I just kind of regather, just kind of look at the image, looked at all my headings, the signal, things of that nature, just to make sure everything looked good. So we have passed the 1,700 foot marker. We are proceeding forward. I'm a little twitchy also on the gimbals. I mean, again, I was more concerned and just, nervous that nothing was going to go wrong. So some of the panning is a little abrupt in the sense that's actually, we're coming up on like a local boating club. It's where they, I guess they store a lot of their boats and they practice and things of that nature or whatever. But we're coming up on that shortly. Coming up with 2,800 feet. So we're getting there. Yep, and I figured this is probably about the only thing worth even panning the camera and taking a look at on this trip. Everything else is pretty much just all shoreline. So here we go. We're just panning a little bit and just taking a look at this, I guess, boating club. We're at 3,000 feet out. Still have perfect signal, batteries at 81%, just utilizing one of the many features that the DJI Mavic possesses, and that is the zoom feature, which is actually a pretty nice feature. Not sure if it's something I would use a lot, but it is good to have a feature such as that. So we're going to go ahead and straighten her back out and just kind of just head on back out for a little while. So at this point, we are just kind of, we have open air. We're just going to go ahead and we just got our full bore. Now I'm not running, flying in sport mode. So I'm just keeping that at a nice, simple, this speed is about 20 miles an hour, anywhere from like 18, 19, 20, 21 miles an hour. But pretty much just what we were cruising at. So as you see now, I'm actually heading a little bit, I'm kind of facing going towards the shore. I realized that I was kind of more out to the center of the river. I was like, you know what, let's get a little bit closer to the shoreline just in case something does happen. I could potentially, get the aircraft back on land because clearly we don't want to be out in the middle of the river if there's something starts acting up. So we're a little over 5,000 feet. Everything is looking good. Again, just cruising at around 20 miles an hour. Altitude is about 200. Signals look good, 75% battery. So we're just going. At this point, I'm just kind of wondering, how much further I want to go. What's the number I'm looking at. So I'm just pushing it right now. Again, signal was fine. Very, very strong signal. So, when you have a strong signal, it's easy to just keep going. That's one thing I have learned with this aircraft. And that's one thing that I'm sure a lot of people have gotten burnt by, because the range is very, very, very good on this aircraft. And it's quite easy to kind of get beside yourself as far as, how far out and, how much battery you need to get back. So I could see that being a potential major problem if you're not careful. DJI currently at the moment, I don't know of any extended battery packs or anything. So you're stuck with kind of what the aircraft comes with. So, but that's definitely something you have to keep in consideration, because this thing seems to just want to fly forever when you put it in the right situations where, again, it's a clean line of sight and all of that. So we're coming up, getting close to 8,000 feet. At this point, I think I had decided, I think 10,000 feet was going to be kind of my magic number for this first trip. Again, this was my first range test, so there was no reason for me to push it. And even still, I know that, the distance that I'm going to end at is going to far exceed any distance that I'm going to fly in, most typical environments. So I did raise up to about 270 feet just to make sure that it was above the tree line from a distance standpoint, in a sense. But that was just me, just being a little more precautious, raising it up. So we're over 9,000 feet out. And now I'm like, well, I've clearly at this point decided that 10,000 feet was going to be my limit. So once I hit 10,000, you know what that meant. I was going to just turn her around and bring her back in. And I did fly her in. I'm not real big on being this far out and then hitting the return to home button and things of that nature. I did not want to find out that has a problem at 10,000 feet out. So I clearly will turn her around and bring her in, as we see. So we're getting there, almost there. So we're just about at the marker that I wanted to get to, of course, which was 10,000 plus, and there we go, 10,058 feet, also known as 1.9 miles. This is fine by me. I am perfectly satisfied with this distance and with the range that I received. I had no desire at the moment to go any further, so I was clearly heading back. So I'm going to speed this video up for the trip back, just so everyone knows the return trip was just as uneventful as the trip out. And I did notice that the video is not the clearest as it could. I know there's been a lot of options and settings that I have found out after actually creating this video, as far as just some of the camera settings and things. And it was a cloudy, hazy day, so that did affect the quality of this video. But again, my main concern for this video was the actual range and distance.